Paris, the capital of light, the city of love and art, where millions of people dream of visiting at least once in their lifetime to immerse themselves in eternal romance. On the street known as the cradle of young artists, there is a coffee shop called Martyrs. It was once a sanctuary for artists. It is here that the great master Picasso often visited, discussing beauty, art, and life. But Picasso had no idea that, right beneath his shoe, life was not about colorful paintings. It was a stark white of death. The nearby coffee shop has a secret passage leading underground. We must go down, deeper still, down to a depth of 15 meters, a place where the Paris sunlight never reaches. An unimaginable sight. The people who built this place were not merely discarding bodies. They are the architects of death. The wall is solidly built with leg bones, thigh bones, and interspersed shoulder bones. And up high there are skulls silently observing the intruders. The Roman Empire, the greatest and most brutal conquering machine in history. They turned the Mediterranean into their pond. And the foundation of this empire was built on the backs of slaves. Under the tyranny of slave owners, slaves worked under whips, chained with iron. Any resistance meant a swift death. In 66 AD, in Palestine, a province of Rome, under the brutal rule of Governor Pardo, the Jews could no longer endure. They rose up, a revolutionary uprising that once wiped out the Roman army in Jerusalem. But Rome is not easy to forgive. They besieged and cut off supplies. After 4 years of relentless and lonely fighting, the Jews failed. More than 70,000 rebel soldiers were captured and taken prisoner, and their fate was even more tragic than death. They were all nailed to crosses or exiled to serve as forced labor slaves throughout the empire, including Paris. Return to the dark underground tunnel in Paris. Beyond the white bone wall is a choir also made of human bones. It is built from the bones of those who fell for freedom and religion. The piling up of bones also represents the stacking of layers of history and hatred across many generations. They gather at the bridge to pray, not for safety, but for curses. They wish for the fall of the Roman Empire, hoping that the slave owners will die in agony. This is not just a cemetery. It is a spiritual fortress filled with hatred and hope. It wasn't until 313 AD that history took a new turn. The Roman emperor issued the Edict of Milan, recognizing Christianity. For the first time in hundreds of years, believers were able to step into the light. The burial of the dead is gradually being brought from the dark depths of the earth to the surface. The era of bone mazes is slowly coming to an end. The strangest thing is not the brutality, but the secrecy. This enormous labyrinth was built right beneath the nose of the Roman Empire and has existed for 2,000 years, yet very few people in later generations know the full details. Until now, besides the enormous scale in Paris, only a few similar mazes have been found, much smaller, in Mexico with only 217 skeletons. Meanwhile, the Paris catacombs are estimated to contain up to 600,000 bones. That disparity further highlights the unique status of the city of bones beneath Paris. Back to the ground. Paris is still magnificent. The crowds are still bustling back and forth. They drink coffee, discuss art, fall in love, right on the lid of a giant coffin. Life and death, light and darkness. They are separated by only a 15-meter thick layer of earth, a strange and cold coexistence. Because history is not only written in the pages of books. History is peacefully sleeping right beneath your shoe. Thank you for watching.